Hello, this is D. Allen with Life Lesson Sports, where we talk sports and life lessons. And so on today's show, we're going to talk about the Shedeur Sanders speeding ticket. Is it a big deal or not? And then we're going to wrap the show up with a life lesson. And the topic is to be anxious for nothing. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Shedeur Sanders was recently pulled over in Ohio driving 101 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour speed zone. He was pulled over and he's issued a ticket. And reports were maybe a month or so prior to that in Ohio, he was pulled over for doing the same thing, speeding 90 miles an hour or something like that. And so he has been driving too fast. And it reminds me of a story about with my oldest daughter. When she was about Shedeur's age, she used to get tickets all the time, whether it was for driving too fast or parking somewhere she had no business parking. And one day I put her to the side and said, look, if you keep getting tickets, they are going to suspend your license. And from what I hear, it's expensive, number one, to get your license back. And then it's a big hassle that you got to go through to get your license back. And you're going to have to find another mode of transportation to get yourself around, because I'm not going to be your mode of transportation and I'm not going to finance you getting your license back. So my advice to her was, you need to figure it out on how you can stop getting tickets. It was so bad at one point, I started calling her the ticket master. And so I'm sure Shedeur's family, those close to him, people he trusts, are telling him, okay, stop driving so fast, stop getting tickets. And because of who he is and his popularity, it blows up on the front page of every social media, every news outlet is Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders. And so he wants to stay away from those types of headlines. And I'm sure he will. I've watched Shedeur grow from a kid all the way up to where he is now, a young man. And he's always made adjustments. And he's done a really good job making adjustments on the field. That's why he's accomplished the things in his career. That's why he has the stats that he has, is because he makes good decisions on the field. He makes the proper adjustments and he performs. And so I expect him to do the same thing with this situation and perform off the field because he made the proper adjustments. And so I want to look at a couple of things. The second thing I want to talk about is, was it a good thing or a bad thing that this happened? In my opinion, it was a good thing because he got pulled over. They stopped him from driving fast. Thankfully, no one was hurt, killed, injured, or anything like that. And so it was a good thing. And it's teaching them a lesson that, hey, you drive the speed limit. You can't be driving that fast. It's against the law and it's dangerous. And so I think it was a good thing in my opinion. Thirdly, he's a role model. And sometimes people don't want to be role models, but he is, and he embraces that. And he knows right and wrong messages to send those that are looking at him and that look up to him. And so he's going to be the proper role model. And again, like I said, he'll make those adjustments. Also, I want to talk about, does this situation impact the quarterback room, the depth chart? And currently, people are saying he's the fourth quarterback. He was drafted in the 5th round. I don't believe he was a 5th round quarterback. I believe he's a 1st round quarterback. I think something funny went on with that. But I don't think it's going to impact his status on the depth chart. And I honestly think he'll be starting week 1 of this upcoming NFL season because he's a 1st round quarterback. It didn't work out that way. He went 144, where he could have easily been 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 in the 1st round. And so I won't be surprised. And I believe he's going to be the starting quarterback to get the season started. And so I just wanted to share my thoughts with you on the Shedeur Sanders situation. I don't see it being a big issue, and I believe he'll make the proper adjustments because that's who he is and that's what he's always done. And so let's close the show out today with today's life lesson: being anxious for nothing. Anxiety is rooted in fear, and fear can cause people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. It can cause people to get out of character. Fear can cause someone to be anxious over things like a pair of shoes. Fear can make a person anxious and think, I got to buy these shoes today. I got to get them right now because they might run out. Or have somebody anxious about jumping into a relationship with somebody that they don't have no business being in a relationship with. Or anxious about buying a car or even buying a home, or anxious about taking a job in a whole nother state away from their support system, and they shouldn't take that job. So it's rooted in fear. Fear is designed to steal, kill, and destroy. It's designed to take away from a person, not to add good things to them. And so anxiety is a result of fear. So we have to learn to deal with the fear, to calm ourselves down, and to make good decisions that's not based on anxiety. And so the word for today, the life lesson for today, is to be anxious for nothing. And if you do that, you'll be a lot happier for it. So if you like today's show, hey, give us the like, drop a comment. If you have any comments about anything that you heard, turn on your notifications. And I thank you for spending time with me today. And I'll see you again real soon. Everybody be blessed.